Welcome back to Healthcare Sucks, the early morning edition. And with that, guys, more and more spreading across the United States today. Stocks going down. Gee, did we talk about that the other day, or was that fiction? Oh, I'm supposed to say, remember, everything's fiction. Everything's fiction on this show and everything. There's not WUHAN 19 in the U.S. Remember, the WHO stamped it down. There's not a pandemic. The WHO is not waiting for bonds to mature on virus bonds to mature through World Bank. There's no gambling on the stock market out there. That's all fiction too. Fiction. Woo. Anyways, too early for all that, I guess. So what we're hearing, we're gonna watch right now is another talk. It's only like this short. Right after this, about shortages of things, toys, people having to close up their businesses, and then a real short thing about people getting paid if they stay home. And real quick, the federal government does not guarantee monies. Yeah, remember what I talked to you about? Here we go.
Marathon that raises money for charity.
Not seeing that come to fruition.
Sorry, and the idiots want to keep the Tokyo World Olympics open and coming. Tell me if you think that's a good idea.
Is it really breaks my heart.
Health leaders say it's a tough call.
This is a virus, Tom, that can spread widely in the population. And if it does that, it will cause an awful lot of serious illness.
The Indian Wells tennis tournament, the LA Marathon, and March Madness, however, are all still on. But the New York Times reports on early conversations involving sports federations and the WHO about whether the Summer Olympics might need to be held without spectators. The IOC said today preparations for the Olympic Games Tokyo 2020 continue as planned. While younger people don't seem to be at as much risk, they could pass the virus on to somebody who is vulnerable, making every large gathering a potential concern. Lester?
Everyone's struggling to find the right balance. All right, Tom, thank you. And as we've seen all week, American business is taking a big hit from the coronavirus. Stocks tumbling yet again today, with the Dow losing another 256 points. Many stores reeling as well, and we get the latest on all that from NBC's Jolene Kent.
From Wall Street to Main Street, the coronavirus is slamming the economy. Small businesses like Rachel's Ginger Beer are in crisis mode.
This is just potentially absolutely devastating.
Located in the shadow of Amazon headquarters in Seattle, owner Rachel Marshall says her store has lost thousands of customers overnight because Amazon and other big tech companies have asked their employees to work from home.
Our employees are our number one priority, and if they can't work, they can't make money. So am I dipping into my family's savings account?
Real quick, but those computerized factories are pumping out things. And you know what? It wouldn't get delivered without the postal service and other FedEx, etc., etc. What about those people? What about when those people can't? What about when the mail can't come to your house? Think about that one, guys.
To pay our employees.
At Kip's Toyland, the oldest toy store in Los Angeles, their inventory is tightening as cargo ships from China aren't setting out to sea.
What's the impact on the toys that you're trying to sell here?
Good question. Things are beginning to slow down. Hopefully we'll be able to sustain ourselves until the supply chain gets filled again.
As unease grows about job security, many workers are wondering if they get paid if they're forced to stay home because of coronavirus. U.S. federal law currently does not guarantee sick leave.
Less than 60% of blue-collar workers get paid time off. We're talking about rideshare drivers, cashiers, and servers. Some say they're scared of catching the virus because they work face-to-face with customers and they don't have the option of working from home. Lester?
They don't have the option of working from home. How many people do you think fit that category? Let's just say 20% of all workers, just off of that end. How about another 60 to 75% can't afford to be at home. In fear because they'll lose their home, their car, their credit rating. Oh my gosh. And that's serious, guys. It is. And everything else. And if you're a renter, you'll lose your place to live and become homeless. Like the story I just covered, it's a little push out that we do to where we don't do a video, but we put out little memos on YouTube. In Salem, Oregon, homeless woman gives birth to a child on the sidewalk yesterday. In Salem, Oregon, a woman gave birth, and as people just drove by, nobody paid attention because they're invisible. Isn't that sad? Back to the story.
Again in the last 24 hours, and the steps being taken in the city right now. Meantime, in Boston at this hour, the scene unfolding there. Several people at a hotel taken to the hospital for immediate screenings. Here's ABC's Whit Johnson. Tonight, authorities shutting down a street in Boston, transporting dozens of people from the Marriott Hotel directly to the hospital to be tested for the new coronavirus.
We now have new information that there have been 3 confirmed cases of coronavirus of Boston residents tracing back to the same Biogen meeting. This is a rapidly evolving situation.
Health officials testing people outside the hospital, then sending them home to wait for results. This as states across the country are scrambling to contain the spread. In New York, about 4,000 people, more than half in the New York City area alone, now under quarantine.
This is like a flu on steroids.
The number of new cases doubling again today, jumping to 44, including a doctor who works at the same hospital where the sick Westchester lawyer was initially taken. That attorney frequently traveled by train to Grand Central Terminal. Tonight, his rabbi telling his congregation, "I have the virus and am doing reasonably well." But caution those who've had contact with him to seek counsel from your health practitioner.
He demonstrated confidence in his own condition, and he reminded his congregants that we all have a responsibility to do what we can to safeguard public health.
The normally bustling business district of New Rochelle, a virtual ghost town.
It's eerily quiet. There's not many cars. There are not many shoppers.
Bob Kent lives just down the street from the lawyer at the center of the outbreak. Do you get the sense that people are anxious about what will happen next?
Yes, I think people have pretty well decided that it's, in a sense, unstoppable. I don't see any way that it doesn't continue to expand.
ABC News getting exclusive access to New York's Wadsworth Center in Albany, the first state lab in the country to begin testing for coronavirus with its own developed test.
There's no reason for panic here. There's no reason for undue anxiety. Facts do not back that up.
Tonight, nationwide, many schools and universities canceling classes or holding lessons online. New York City schools preparing plans for remote learning capabilities. The University of Washington also teaching classes online after a faculty member tested positive.
You know, let's hope to God the big cities, these idiots running the big cities right now, can get it through their skull what's going to happen. It's going to be like, I don't know. I'll give you a story. You like my stories, don't you guys? Okay, once upon a time, there was a young man, and he was playing with matches, literally, in a wheat field in the summertime, right before harvest. And you know what happened? It caught fire. It's called wildfire. It happened in my neighborhood. One of my friends was being dumb with some of his buddies, and that's what happened. And the truth of the story is here, that's what's going to happen with WUHAN 19, guys. This thing, we have not even seen. This has been like when you can't shut your water faucet off and it does that annoying drip thing. That's where we're at now. Drip, drip, drip. And the stock market just wants it to go away. It's crying. But it's not going to go away. It's going to drip. until that little rubber seal in there cracks. And it's going to run rampant. And I don't mean to be pushing gloom and doom. Gloom and doom. That healthcare sucks. I wear it if you send it to me. I'm joking. I would wear it though. Anyway, um, it's sad, guys. I mean, just if they'd have gone on this quicker, we'd have got the test. It's the what ifs don't matter no more, guys. So there's no use discussing the what ifs. Let's talk about the right now and moving forward. They need to get on this. We need to get as much as I don't want the test because I'm worried about us all getting our gene thing out there and being sold to like Modesto, which owns the patents of almost everything out there. And then when you do those AG21 or whatever it is, 21 23andMe's, and you send in your DNA, you give up the rights to your DNA. You guys don't know this, but they're taking all that and cataloging it for their own use for whatever they plan to do. I know we're getting off track here, but the bottom line is we need to know what's going on and where this thing is. And even if we were going to go with the vaccination and treatments, we're looking at, you've heard it enough times on my show, 6 months to a year. We just need to batten down the hatches and get ready, guys. Again, not gloom and doom, but the truth. And the truth of the matter is, I think this thing is just about ready to be that field with that little kid lighting the match of the WUHAN 19. It's going to be out of control. So let's see what else is going on out there.
And pharmaceutical companies are bracing for shortages too. 80% of drugs consumed in the U.S. come from China and India, so more delays threaten supplies of critical medication. Late tonight, the city of Austin, Texas.
And you notice they tamped it down. They didn't even say it, but it's out there. Look into it. Look it up on your little Google search and stuff. India's not giving us antibiotics. They already said no. And China, after they sucked up everybody's resources, like I've been preaching to you about, gave us the finger. When, if you go back and watch my videos, this factory cities, they're retooled. They got plenty of drugs. They got plenty of supplies. They are winning this war. And that little quick 8 to 10 minutes of Tucker Carlson, whether you like him or not, he covered a lot of things about this thing heading. China is out to get us. And I'm not paranoid, guys. Just look at read between the lines here. What's happened. Watch my videos about the factories that can be retooled. I do think the people in the cities are the ones suffering, and I think they've held things from them. Of course, their government does this. Look at the incinerators they set up, guy. They're like the back. They push those little cargo things off. They're like those little cargo trailer things you push off, and they build homes out of them now and all that stuff, and you store your stuff in it. Well, they're super turbo-powered incinerators that usually it takes minutes or whatever, hours to, not hours, but, so many minutes to cremate. These things are doing it in seconds. If you think the numbers over there are you've even heard it on Main Street media, the numbers aren't correct. Those people are not, the people of China are, there's people just like you and I. But the government is evil, guys. They've been at war for so long before we were even thought of. So if you think they haven't thought this out, you better think again. Because it could be a pre-planned situation we're in right now. And I kid you not, I would almost bet dollars to donuts on this one, that once everything's super infected, you look for some country to make a move. I'm not kidding. Let's just for 1 minute throw out something along that line. We know Iran don't like us. We know China don't like us. We know there's probably about a dozen other ones that will jump in on that bandwagon. Russia's up in the air. The United States, they're involved in our politics, yes. But as far as our true enemy, lots of people say so. So let's hope to God that isn't the throw in over there. And then our supposed allies across the seas, we hope that we can bond like we did in the previous WW1s and WW2s. Because, that's all we got, guys, is together. Again, I put to you, if you're not a 1%, then you're 99%. And you're probably sick of hearing it, but you know what? That was the greatest movement of my lifetime, and it got crushed and it blew away like dust in the wind. Well, guess what? It caught a mud puddle here at Healthcare Sucks, and we're reforming it into the strongest bond that the world has ever seen. And out of this mud puddle into a form, it's going to become the strongest mud creature you ever seen, called the 99%. And we're going to see that people get paid one way or another when they're home sick from this WUHA, or you're told to quarantine, that you get to keep your stuff, and you get to keep your house, and you get to keep your apartment, and you get to keep your credit standing and ratings. Because we're going to fight for it, guys. We're going to fight for you, and me. We're not going to let them take this opportunity to throw us in the street with the lady that had the baby in Salem, Oregon, where little brain Governor Kate sits up there on the hill and does nothing to help the homeless, as in many states. Look at San Francisco. It's a total loss, man. LA's been a loss for a long time, though, guys. I did work down there. But it was better than it is now. And the bigger cities, I feel for you, my brothers and sisters, you guys that live in the big cities. I did big city time working there when I was younger. I half my life I was big city, half my life I was country. And I think the country kept me sane. The pushing and the crawling and the arguing, the bickering, the just race and daily routine of clawing and trying to survive is so tough in the cities. I feel for you guys, man. It's tough. Anybody that says city people aren't tough, you guys are, to a point. You've got some toughness, man, to survive that routine every day. And the beeping and the noise and all that. Oh my God. I mean, I love where I'm at. It's slow motion, guys. I mean, I wouldn't trade it for the world. And I know a lot of people in the cities trapped there. For generations, you can't get out. That's what happened in down in Florida, Katrina, when that went through. Those people were generations of people trapped in those areas. And now who knows? I mean, the stories are those people are displaced and all over the place. And that place is still a disaster, guys. Look at Katrina stuff and how many years ago. And even some places down in Texas that went through the floods recently, they're not back to normal. And we're thinking that this little bitty WUHAN 19, as they're tamping it down, is just going to be a walk through the park. This thing's not going to be a walk through the park. Every time you turn a page, you got a real doctor, hero doctor, like the one over in China that's coming out and telling you guys and me the truth. That we're better batten down. We're in it. And now we're talking about not having meds, guys. That is not cool. I'm telling you, antibiotics is like a necessity. If you're into the health thing, yeah, hey, if the health stuff works for you and you can beat it that way, or at least try to work with that in the antibiotics, both. I mean, technically when you do antibiotics, it flushes things out, so you're supposed to get vitamins and stuff back in your system. That's another thing when you guys are out there getting your prep and stuff, buy some vitamins. You might need them, guys. We don't know what the food supply. They say they have the food supply under control. I'm not so sure. And one more time, I ate again. I'm always eating, damn it. A man's gotta eat. Anyway, the reason I said that is I hope I don't have no food on my face. Because sometimes I get inspiration to just do a video and talk to you guys. Because I'm here for you, man. If you guys got my email, it's on there. You can email me all the time. I try to answer. stuff. And don't be afraid. It's not like I'm going to stalk you, and talk to you every day or ask you for your bank accounts. Come on, guys. Wait a minute. Are we asking for bank accounts? Where's my little sign? Where's my little sign? If you want to send me a shirt or a letter that says healthcare, you suck. Today we'll do it this way. See? This is what you get. I'm just joking, guys. If you want to send a card or something sometime, go ahead. It would be cool. But you know what? Just your thanks and just your watching and spreading the word is awesome for me. I hope that I help as many of you to help others, because my goal in life, period, has always been to help those who cannot help themselves. When I was a child, it was right the day that parent conference was coming up, and they used to pick on this little disability boy all the time and just beat him up and stuff. And I used to try to stick up for him and try to help out and stuff. I was okay. I wasn't super popular, but I was pretty popular. And I did some sports, but I wasn't a jock. Anyway, they were picking on this boy. It just happened to be day of conference, and I got into it with these two boys, and it was a brawl. Yeah, big time brawl. And people went home with bruises, even me a couple. What the heck? In those days, a bruise taught you a lesson. It wasn't a crime. But yeah, I just happened to be going at it when my parents showed up. And yeah, it was interesting, to say the least. But the bottom line here is, what I'm trying to get to is help your fellow man, help your fellow brother, love your brothers, sisters. Again, we've gotten so into this. We're so divided. That's another thing real quick. Other countries are loving it, like China and Russia. You talk about Russia. When we're divided, this 50-50 thing, that's not cool, guys. We need to be 99%. And if you don't like the left or the right, just don't vote this time. There's a theory that it doesn't matter anyway, guys. It's already preordained and set up. It's all done by computer now anyway. How hard would it be to set up who's going to win or lose? Get real. And one more quickie on that. They're going to screw Bernie, man. Literally, whether you like the guy or not, socialism, whatever, okay? The bottom line is, he got screwed last time. He's going to get screwed now. And then they're going to throw out Joe. And we know how that's going to go pretty much, guys. I'd rather not do the politics, because I love you all. And I'm trying not to divide my channel, my people apart. So I try to stay out of the limelight. I'm debating what I'm going to do at election time, to be honest. I might fill my own name in. I've done that on different things. Maybe that's what we all should do. Hey, vote for healthcare sucks. That would be amazing. It's a joke. I'll get back to work. Sorry, guys.
Is canceling the wildly popular South by Southwest Festival, a $355 million blow to the local economy. More than 400,000 people attend the event each year. David, the New York lab that developed its own test received FDA approval less than a week ago. It's responsible for confirming most of the coronavirus cases in the state. But officials are warning people, as they test more, the numbers will likely go up dramatically.
And with that, we're going to close out this one and do another video right away after this with just news and less blabbing. So if you don't want the blabbing version for 23 minutes, I apologize. You can just turn me off. You suck, healthcare. You suck bad. We don't like your stories. And don't send anything. Don't. Whoa, 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 whoa. Earthquake. No. Just joking. Not an earthquake. Just joking. Don't send anything to this guy. Don't send a card. Unless it says, healthcare, you suck. Get lost. But I will wear your shirts. Oh, man. The earthquakes are bad today, guys. All right. next video, more news. Let's blab. Healthcare sucks. Over and out.